Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. Today, it's the all handsome episode. It's me and Bobby Golf. So you guys asked me a bunch of stuff. Let's get into it. Ted Williams, foreshadowing. Hello and welcome to Talking Baseball. It's your guy, Coach Trev here. Like I said, along with super producer Bobby Golf. We got a couple guys on leave right now. Jake is still who knows where. I think he's in Italy right now. Dalton Feely was in Buffalo yesterday. Two kind of different places, but you can have fun in both of those. I've been to Chippewa Street, so Buffalo, stand up. I'm out here in rainy Southern California. We had you guys send over a bunch of voicemails. We got a ton of them and sifted through them. I think we got them down to 15 voicemails. We'll go through all of them. Some of them are baseball related. Some of them are me related. So this is kind of like a speed dating round for you guys, the audience, and me, a little bit of Bobby mixed in. Bob, are you there?
Yes, sir. How you doing,
There
Trev?
he is. How you doing? How was your weekend, Bobby?
It was an eventful weekend. It was a lot going on. A lot of family stuff, but it's all good.
Okay. It's the time of the season for that. We got Thanksgiving coming up. The holidays are here, whether you're Hanukkah, whether you're Christmas, Kwanzaa. There's got to be some other ones that I don't know about. It's a beautiful time of the year, and I actually finally got some of that fall weather here. We have an atmospheric river, okay, which is insane because we used to just call that rain, and now we have a name for it. This is very similar to baseball. We're like, oh, he's got a live fastball. Well, now we know all about what a live fastball is. Same thing with an atmospheric river. It's just rain, people, and a lot of it. So that's where we're at right now. I think we should just get right into it and start these voicemails up.
Sounds good.
Hey, Trev, this is Adam from Minnesota. Huge fan of you on the Twins, huge fan of you on the broadcast and on John Boy Media. My question for you is, what is your Mount Rushmore of favorite teammates? Could be because they were funny, could be because they were just great teammates, whatever you want to do. Appreciate it.
Oh. Well, thank you for your support. I always question people when they're so nice to me. I wasn't that good on the Twins. Couple good years, but thank you for that. You got me with the tough one already off the bat because I'm obviously going to leave some people out. Bobby, 4 people on Mount Rushmore, correct?
Yes.
Nailed that one. Crushed it. I got 2 easy ones right off the bat. And I think I've mentioned these guys before and kind of what they meant to my career. So I'm going Justin Morneau and Josh Willingham. 2 just great examples of what it means to be a man. And when I went through this thought exercise, that's what I'm calling it, SAT right there. I realized that's kind of like what I'm into. I like to follow guys that I consider, hard workers, good husbands, family men. That's the people I like. So Justin Morneau took me under his wing, 2012, and even before that, and really kind of showed me the ropes and challenged me a bit. So I'll go Justin Morneau. Still get to work with him to this day, which is a lot of fun. He's just a great dude. Josh Willingham was my right-handed bash brother for the famous June-July of 2012 season, as everyone always remembers. And he, again, another guy who I look up to as a person, but as a baseball player, he's he told me what I did well. He's like, hit the ball in the seats, man. Swing for the fence, pull the ball, go get it. So him and I went back and forth, and that was a big one for me. The other 2 is a little tricky because, I got guys like Joe Mauer, who was a big inspiration for me just by the way he went about his work. And then just see him play baseball was awesome. And he's just one of the all-time great guys in the sports world. So I think he has to be on. I think he has to be on this list. So I'm going Joe Mauer. Still get to hang with him when I go back to Minnesota too, which is cool. So the last spot is up for grabs. And I think I have to choose between Brian Dozier, who I probably had more dinners with than anyone. Still get to see him a lot because our wives are friends. A guy like Ryan Domit, who was my Spades partner against Willingham and Brian Dozier. And then Kyle Gibson. You guys know, if you watch the show, the Gibby's a big part of how I think about baseball is specifically the pitchers. He's like the one pitcher that I really enjoy. So I think I'm going Willingham, Morneau, Joe Mauer, and then if we could do a split face, it'd be Brian Dozier, Kyle Gibson. That's my Twins Mount Rushmore.
It's a good one. I like that.
That's it. Yeah. Thanks, Bob.
All right.
Moving on.
Hey guys, what do you think the odds for the Blue Jays repeating a World Series appearance are for this coming season? And how many of the current players do you think stay?
How many prime? Okay. This is a question about the Blue Jays. I'm not good with odds and percentages. I think they're going to be one of the better teams in the AL. I think they have some work to do this offseason, obviously. And a lot of times when you point out the Blue Jays, they have a decent sized payroll, but a lot of Blue Jays fans will say, we don't go out and spend money like that. Well, you went out and spent money like that with Vladdy, and you're going to have to do that again this offseason, maybe a couple different times. And I think one thing that you can't put past the ownership of the Blue Jays now is when you get a taste of the World Series, and like you had the World Series, like they had it won until they didn't. I think that really inspires you to go out there and get back, because that's what it's all about. Plus you make a ton of money. So that's what the ownership's all about. They're going to have to figure some things out. Bo Bichette is a big one to me. In my mind, he's already back, but I think there are some scenarios where he's not. I think he's going to have to move off of shortstop. Andres Gimenez is there. I think it makes them a better team if he's at second base. So if they decide, hey, like maybe we go allocate that money elsewhere and don't bring Bo back, we make a really valiant effort to do it, but he ends up signing somewhere else. That is a plausible scenario, and that would change things a lot for their outlook. And it could make it better, could make it worse, depending on how, again, they reallocate that money that they're going to need to spend on him. They are going to be in play, I think, for some big free agents, whether it be a frontline starter, whether it be a back at the end of the bullpen guy. In our trade draft, I had a bunch of guys going there. Are they all going to go there? Probably not, but they are going to be players in the free agent market. Are they going to go after Kyle Tucker? I think they're going to give it a go. Would they be able to do him and Bo Bichette? I think that's the biggest question. I don't know if that happens. So if they did decide, hey, we want Kyle Tucker there, maybe Bo doesn't come back. And the reason I say Kyle Tucker is, and obviously he makes sense for a lot of different reasons. He's contact oriented, kind of just plays defense, kind of does everything the Blue Jays want to do. But after next season, they got Springer's out, Varsho's out. Who else is out? I have it here. Gausman, Bieber, Yimi Garcia. Like they have a bunch of guys who are free agents after the 2026 season. So what a lot of organizations will do, and the Blue Jays have done this in the past with like a guy like Andres Gimenez, is bring in the replacements the year before you actually need them. So Kyle Tucker could be that for their outfield, while providing them obviously massive value for the 2026 season. So chances they repeat as AL champs, pretty good. I don't know. Like I'm bad with percentages, people. They got a good shot. They're going to be a good team next year. I think they're one of the more fascinating teams for this offseason because they have the guy like Bichette who they need to bring back, or like the fans definitely want him back. If you're really thinking like in a true baseball roster scenario, and you're leaving like the attachment to raising this guy, I think I might go elsewhere and like reallocate that money, but we don't live in a world like that. He means a lot to that organization. So they got a good chance. They're a good team, and I'm excited to see what they do this offseason.
Good afternoon, Toronto Trev. I was wondering, what do you think about this giant sniping Hunter Menz? Do you think this is going to be good for baseball, where more teams will want to start hitting again? Bye.
More teams want to start hitting again? Is that what she said?
Yeah, that is what she said.
I mean, thank you for the question. contact oriented. That's what she's referencing. I'm into it. So I think so. It was Popkins and Mentz. Mentz going to the Giants. So we'll get into him. I think Popkins was definitely a contact oriented guy. I think he lent that way when he was with Minnesota. I think he became that when he went to the Blue Jays. So it's an interesting dynamic between those two. I spent a lot of time with Popkins in the cage in Minnesota in 2024. And he was a guy who truly believed, like, yeah, you got to have a bunch of clubs in the bag. I've always said that, and you have to have that approach just because these pitchers are so damn good. So I think a lot of the contact has to do with Popkins. Mentz is going to be great for the Giants. Now, again, I don't know this guy a ton. I actually probably played against him. He was drafted and was in the minor leagues kind of coming up with the Marlins, I believe, when I was in the minor leagues. So that'd be interesting to find out. But nobody cares, Trev. Shut up. It's not about you. He was their drill coach and swing mechanic guy in Toronto. So he'll be bringing that sort of mentality over to the Giants. He was coached by Vitello at Missouri, which I think is cool. And I think, that's awesome for Vitello to like be able to bring his guys in. I like that a lot. Handsome dude, Mentz is also, so he fits the vibe there. One of the biggest things a hitting coach has to do or be able to do, and Rob Van Scoyoc is probably the best in the big leagues at this with the Dodgers, is you have to have a bunch of drills that you can go to when you see a mechanical flaw in a hitter. And it doesn't have to be some like crazy thing. It could just be, it could be anything. It could be, hey, short bat because you're casting your hands out too far. We want to feel your hands closer to your body. I love the short bat drill, by the way. There's more of that coming later in the show. It could be, literally anything. Brian Dozier used to love this drill where our hitting coach would throw the ball on a hop to him, and it would just make him feel the timing aspect of his swing a little bit better. So you have to have drills to fix guys, whether it's a mechanical thing or a mental thing, a timing thing. And I think Mentz is going to be able to bring that to the Giants. I'm excited to see. I like when guys have success somewhere and are able to kind of showcase and be, the head guy somewhere else. So I think it's going to be good for the Giants. The Giants have made some really cool hires. They did get rid of my guy JP Martinez, who I believe is now reunited with Tommy Watkins in the Braves, but a good hire for the Giants.
Hey, Coach Trev. It's Greg from Pennsylvania. Huge Phillies fan. Thank you for your service. I have a baseball question and a personal question. Baseball-wise, if you could choose one team to play for next year, so say you were coming back to baseball, and you were able to choose any of the teams to play for in 2026, which team would that be? And personal question, what was the most badass concert you've ever been to? Thanks a lot, man. See you.
Well, first of all, thank you for the question. Second of all, there's no stolen valor here. Don't thank me for my service, please. Okay. Have not done that. Thank you everybody else for their service that actually served. Okay. This is a fun question because I think there's a lot of cool teams out there. I think a lot of people would probably say, hey, the Dodgers, they got a really good chance to win the World Series. And you get to play with Shohei and Freddie and Mookie and all these guys. Not going there. Respect what the Dodgers are doing, obviously. But I think I'd go somewhere else. I think there's a couple teams in contention. I think the Blue Jays, who we just talked about a couple questions ago, they seem like a lot of fun. I love Toronto. It's a great place to play in. Not going the Blue Jays, though. The other team that I was thinking, I had it, now I kind of forgot it. Padres are a lot of fun. I know there's some I think there's people who've questioned the clubhouse culture there. I think the clubhouse culture would be completely fine. I think I'd be a great addition to it. So the Padres would be another team I'd be interested in. But you're from Pennsylvania. I'm going to the Phillies, man. I want to play with Bryce Harper. I want to play with my guy, Trey Turner, who is my favorite player in the big leagues. He always has been. It's always been you, Trey. I think Alec Boehm might be on the trade block. I think there could be a hole at third base. And guess who could step right in? Huh? You had me once and you let me go at the trade deadline, Philly. Don't make that mistake again. I play with the Phillies. I think Dave Dombrowski is going to again put the pedal to the metal like he always does. They're so close, and this window of these players is kind of expiring. Bring Schwarber's back, bring Plouffe back. Just a reunion of the boys. Bring Jake Arrieta back while we're at it. Philly for me in 2026. A best concert, most badass concert I've ever been to. I've seen so many shows, man. Shout out Rick Merrill for always hooking me up when we were younger. A family friend of mine who was a GM at the Universal Amphitheater. System of a Down was like awesome to see live. That was an incredible show. I've seen all my punk bands, like, and people say AFI is not punk. It's punk enough. Okay, people, they were great. I do have one particular moment, and this wasn't my favorite concert per se, but I think this was the most badass moment. Lil Wayne was awesome too. And I don't really enjoy rap shows, but this one was really cool. Anyway, so I was at it was like a festival, not a festival, a collection of artists. I think it was K-Rock Almost Acoustic, which was like, you have like 10 bands that play, they play a couple songs, whatever it is. POD with the song Youth of the Nation. And you could probably already hear it in your head right now if you're my age. They were playing and the power went out. And so the place is like completely black. The auxiliary lights come on, so you see just a little bit, but everyone's like, what the heck's going on? And then it was badass, dude. So if you know that song, there's some awesome drums in it. And all of a sudden the drummer just goes, he starts playing that track, and the whole crowd starts saying, we are, and does the whole Youth of the Nation thing. And I got chills there. I don't have chills right now. I hate when people say I have chills. Like, I don't have them right now, but it was an awesome moment. Really cool to be a part of that. I don't know. And I was really young, and I didn't really know what was going on, but great moment. Shout out POD. So it's a pretty badass moment.
Hey, what's up, Coach Trev? This is Jordan here from Utah. My question is regards to expansion. When the rumblings were starting, you guys and other media people talked about divisions and potential locations. What I'm kind of excited about for when this does happen, because eventually will happen, is what that draft process looks like. In other sports, it's like each team, they get to protect a certain number of players, and then the other team gets to kind of pick from there. I don't think MLB would do it, but I think it would be so cool to see teams protect their certain players, and then these two teams get up on a draft, just like a normal MLB draft, but a live televised expansion draft, and to see the two teams alternating. I think this would be awesome to see, and maybe you guys could do a segment in the off season on what the draft process would look like for expansion. Anyway, thanks, and go Yanks.
Okay. So we thought this was a great question because we could do some research in real time, because I don't really remember it was a 1992 expansion draft. I do know some of the points where if this was to happen again, we would have all the teams, the existing teams, protect players. You get to protect a certain amount of players. I think it could differ year to year. Typically you have a 40-man and that's protected. I don't think it's that many. I've been trying to look up, and maybe Bob, if you could find it, how many people got protected.
Established team could protect 15 players from their 40-man roster, and a maximum of 1 player per round could be drafted from each team.
Yes. Okay. So each organization would get to protect only 15. And that's an interesting thought process for you and your organization if you want to do that, because it's not your 15 best big leaguers, because you'd have to go to your prospects as well and say, well, I want that guy. I believe minor leaguers are involved in this too, right, Bobo?
Let me look it up.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. But anyway, if you're, a guy who's on the 40-man, big prospect, not on the big league roster, that'd be a guy you'd probably end up protecting. Typically teams would, maybe like an aging veteran or a guy that, was making a lot of money. Those guys necessarily probably wouldn't get protected unless they're very, very important to your team that particular year. And then, yes, the 2 expansion teams would get to draft, and it's 1 player per team each round.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting way to look at this. I don't know. It's I feel like it'd be very difficult to do that at this time where we're at in baseball, because I feel like everyone would just protect their young guys. There'd just be a team full of veterans that the teams would get the draft from, and maybe they'd end up being the best teams. I think that's how organizations think about their rosters and their players in the organization now, especially if you're trying to keep them long term. They'd keep the young guys, the young, cheap, affordable guys. And then would these expansion teams say, all right, well, we're going to take these older guys, and all of a sudden they're going to have one of the bigger payrolls in all of baseball? It's fascinating to me. I think we are going to get there. I think we're going to get expansion. I think we're going to get 2 more teams, and to go through that draft would be awesome, man. You got me kind of thinking about it now. Maybe we should do an app talking about like who we think wouldn't get protected and who would be the first pick of the expansion draft. That'd be interesting.
So players with no major league experience and less than 3 years of professional service, or 4 years for those signed at age 18, were not eligible.
Okay.
But
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Minor leaguers can be taken if, all that stuff was good.
It's a fascinating question, man. Like I do want everyone to go think about their organization. Who do you protect? Who do you let go? It'd be interesting, man. This guy right here, Twins expansion draft 2014, I'm out. They're not protecting me. I go to the new team and we'd be the best team. And then all of a sudden, boom, poofs in the World Series. That's my dream. This video is brought to you by Shopify. Shopify is the best place to start and grow a business, which is why we partner with them here at John Boy Media. John Boy Media, if you haven't seen it, we relaunched our merch store on Shopify with our new Slashline site, and it was a dream. We brought the ideas, and Shopify brought the execution. And as you're shopping our new launch, check out what Shopify can do for you. Life really is a home run when you have Shopify on your side. Shopify Sidekick, Shopify Magic, and the suite of AI tools are a total game changer. It's revolutionizing the way you can build and manage a business. You'll have your own AI assistant guiding you on everything: directions, reports, editing images, content ideas. Shopify's got your next move covered. If you want to be like us and start building your brand from the ground up, it's time to go over to Shopify and start your trial today. Click that link, shopify.com/talkin. That's shopify.com/talkin if you're ready to leave the amateurs and head over to the big leagues.
Hey, Trev. How's it hanging, amigo? I'm going to bring back Talkin baseball for a second here. Since there are 9 members of the fellowship, where would you set the members of the fellowship if they were players on a baseball diamond? All right. Peace out.
Great question. Clearly, I've thought about this before. There's no doubt. 9 members of the fellowship. If you want to go over them real quick, we got Aragorn, Gandalf, Legolas, Gimli, Samwise, Frodo, Boromir, and Merry and Pippin. Did I name them all? I think I did. So there's some that are really easy to me. Legolas, you're going to center field, buddy. Go run down the ball. He's got great eyes, and he's fast and got all the tools in the bag. This is our 5-tool player. He's going, Legolas, you're in center field. Now people are saying, oh, what about Aragorn? Isn't he the most important guy? Sure, but he just got a big sword, man, and he's half human. Right field, I got him like an Aaron Judge type, dude. Like, you're out there, go hit homers for me, Aragorn. Go chop people's heads off. You got it. Right field is for you. Okay. Gimli clearly is behind the plate. That's my Alejandro Kirk back there raking, just getting calls, back there behind the plate, getting real low, getting my pitcher that low strike for me. Merry and Pippin up the middle, clearly shortstop, second base. Don't care. We change them out interchangeably, shortstop, second base, to keep them happy because everyone wants to play short. We just change those guys in and out. Gandalf clearly on the mound. He is my starting pitcher. There's no doubt about it. He's got the staff and he can manipulate the ball any which way he wants. That's an easy one for me. So that leaves Boromir, Frodo, and Samwise. Now, originally, I was thinking, you have to have Boromir at first base because the other two are too small. I think I'm sticking with that. Boromir, you're going to be my first baseman. So that leaves left field and third base for two of the most important members who are actually doing the dirty work. I kind of feel bad leaving left field for someone. I think Samwise Ganji's got to be in left field because he's got other stuff to worry about. He's going to be my player coach. And then that leaves Frodo at third base. And I think I like that. Frodo's kind of like an Ernie Clement type. Definitely going to make contact. Not striking out. Guarantee that. He's ready to hit. Ready to take on the challenges at hand. So he's at third base. So goes Samwise left, Legolas center, Aragorn right field, Frodo at third base, Merry and Pippin up the middle, Boromir at first base, Gimli behind the plate, and Gandalf on the mound. That's how that's you have to play it like that.
Hey, Coach Trev, big dog. Anyways, biggest question for you is, if you had to give advice to an 11-year-old you really trying to get a handle on the game of baseball, what is the main drill you would recommend to you back when you're a little dog? Thanks.
Big dog. Back when I was a little dog. Gotcha. Thanks for the question. Shoot, I'm right in the thick of this right now, man. I think the number one thing I would say is don't compare yourself to other players. It's not worth it. It doesn't do you any good. Like, just be yourself. Try to be the best version of yourself. And I think a lot of times that sounds like a cop-out answer, but it's true. Like, it doesn't matter what that guy's doing. Like, just go do you. Like, continue to work. Now, as far as drills go, a couple things. Number one, I still think at that age, it's all about repetition. You're still kind of like learning your body, growing into your body. So 1 million ground balls, 1 million swings. Like, just go get your hand-eye set in stone. Your hand-eye has to be there. Mechanics and changing all those things, that'll happen. You'll be able to do that, especially when you get stronger. The changes are easier and make more sense. Like, when you're growing, I still think it's all about repetition. So get your hand-eye, focus on that. That's it. If I was to give one drill or one biggest piece of advice for like what to work on, I think it would be overtraining, especially at the plate. I would set up a machine or go to the local batting cage, and I'd get in that 80 machine and I would just watch it. It's scary. I know for like an 11-year-old, that's pretty fast. But I would overtrain that way. I wouldn't even swing. Not at the beginning. I would just sit in there and I would just watch the ball come past me. And I would learn the cadence of that. And I would slow my body down and I would get in rhythm with 80. And then all of a sudden, when you go back in that 60 cage, that thing's going to be looking like it's taken 1 million years to get to you. So I truly, truly believe in that. I think if I was a big league hitting coach, that'd be one of the things we would do most. I would crank that son of a gun up to 110 and I would just train my guys' eyes, slow everything down. To me, that is the best thing that you can do for a hitter in particular is overtrain. Fast. Learn how to control your body at that level and then bring it back to the speed that you're going to hit at. It's going to feel like night and day. So that's what I would do.
Coach Trev, what's up? Yo, long-time listener, first-time caller. Big lover of all you do, swinging the twig or otherwise. Here's the question for you. When did you know that you belonged in the show? Obviously, I know you never reached the heights that you wanted to as far as playoffs, whatever, but, 100 big flies in the show, that's still something to be proud of here. When did you know you'd made it? And then when did you know it was time to hang it up? What was the final thing? Obviously you pumped Kike on my Phils, all-time Philly GOAT. You no paying for beers when you're in the city come through. But yeah, when did you know you made it? When did you know it was time to be done? Love you guys. Jake fucking sucks. So thank you.
You know how to get into my heart. That's a lot of compliments. And you drop the F-bomb on the Jake sucks. That got me right there. I appreciate the question. When did I know I made it? I mean, I feel like we talk about this probably more than we should. 2012, I am an outfielder. Terry Ryan tells me to put my infield glove away. I come back, spend entire spring training as an outfielder. Doesn't really happen for me. I'm playing very sparingly the beginning of that year. I'm only on the team because I was out of options. It's looking bleak for me. I talk to Olivia about this all the time because I'm very happy in my life right now. And a lot of it has to do with like this particular moment. It was that year. I mean, we had a couple injuries. Danny Valencia was playing third base at the time. He wasn't playing well, so they ended up sending him down. And we didn't really have more infielders on the team, or even on the 40 man necessarily. So all of a sudden, I have my infield glove back, and I get a start at third base. I hit a home run. Get another start at third base, hit a home run, and like I fell into this surge, this power surge, where I just went off and I was hitting the ball extremely well. And that coincided with, you talked about Justin Morneau earlier in the episode. It was in New York at Yankee Stadium. He took me aside and said, like, hey, they wanted to send you out. They sent Luke Hughes out and they wanted to send me out, or I was at least up for consideration for it. And that was the first time that was like, face the music, bro. Like, hey, it's great. You got a cup of coffees here, but this thing could be over before you made any sort of career out of it. And that kind of rewired my brain there a little bit. I started really following his lead there and really establishing a good routine. And then, yeah, that was the month. I think I hit 11 homers in June. That's when I knew I made it and I knew I could do it. Not only like just be there and fight for survival. I knew that I could actually thrive in the big leagues. And then, look, I didn't have the most illustrious career, but I was a starter, for 6 years. I think that's pretty cool, man. So that was when I knew it. Man, that was a lot of fun and it set me up to have a really good life. So thank you, Justin Morneau, and June of 2012. When I knew I was done, man, I mean, I got released by the Phillies, or designated for assignment by the Phillies, the trade deadline of 2018, I believe. And I wasn't on the 40 man anymore. And I was 32 years old, 32 years old. It's just really hard to get on the 40 man when you're that age. And I knew, going back into 2019, I actually went back to the Phillies on a minor league deal with an invite to spring training. And I knew I wasn't going to get a big league deal anywhere because I hadn't really performed, didn't really deserve one. And to get back on the roster meant a whole nother year at AAA, meant like having lightning in a bottle. I don't know. At the time, I just felt physically and mentally burnt out on the whole thing, which I don't know. Maybe I was a wuss. Maybe my wife told me that. She's like, I don't know why you're stopping. But I just felt it, man. And I am thankful for that because I ended up here on John Boy. I wouldn't have had this opportunity at John Boy Media if I would have continued to play. So I felt it, man, in my bones. And then I was done.
Yo, if you could name a sandwich, what would you name it?
What?
If you could name a sandwich, what would you name it?
I mean, what kind of sandwich?
You make it up.
That's the thing.
What would be your sandwich?
Okay. I mean, look, sandwiches are delicious. I'm like trying to get on this health kick right now, so I'm doing a lot of tuna sandwiches on keto bread. That's not my sandwich. It's good. I like a tuna sandwich. There's the obvious winners of like a Philly cheesesteak. Is that even a sandwich? Or is that its own thing? I don't know. My go-to sandwich, though, like I used to order this room service quite a bit, is like a club sandwich. That's kind of boring, but I think that's what I would do. So here's what I like in my club sandwich, and don't hate on me. Give me a good wheat bread, and I want some good turkey breast on that thing. I want bacon, I want avocado, and I want honey mustard, and that is it. I don't do like lettuce and soggy tomato on my sandwich. I'm just not into that. So wheat bread, turkey, bacon, avocado, honey mustard. What do I call that? I don't know what I call that. I have no idea. Something honey bird? I don't know. What would you call it? What's your sandwich, Robbie?
Oh, there's a place by me. Shout out Lapours. They make a chicken, penne vodka chicken.
Oh,
sandwich.
Dude, you just
And I mean, it's like my favorite thing ever. I can't stop eating it.
I forgot about a chicken parm sandwich.
Yeah, with vodka sauce too. Not even,
I love a vodka sauce.
Me too.
Oh my god.
Underrated, I think.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many sandwiches. So like, do I go health? Do I just go like I'm pigging out? One day like a beautiful Italian cold cut. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's tough. But I mean, like the honey plouf sounds pretty good. If you're going honey must with turkey breast.
Ooh, I like the honey must.
Yeah. The honey must.
The honey must.
Okay.
And maybe I swap out turkey breast for chicken breast.
Ooh.
Then it becomes, no, you can't do chicken breast with like regular bread. That would have to be a bun. So I'm sticking with a turkey breast. Shout out Gelson's, the market out here does the best turkey breast.
Ooh.
The honey must, wheat bread, turkey, bacon, avocado, honey mustard.
Hey guys, I just wanted to call in to ask a question about Trev's minor league career. I'm from Rochester, New York, and Trev played for my Red Wings. I remember going to games as a kid and seeing this guy with a really weird name playing on my team, and Trev became one of my favorite players because as a 5-6 year old, guy with a weird name was awesome. So my question is to Trev, what's your favorite minor league memory, or some story that you have that is the most interesting? Thanks.
Shout out Rochester Red Wings. That guy was a kid when I was playing there. You sound just as old as I am. That makes me feel a little bit older. It's fine. I'm turning 40 next year. Favorite memory. There's a ton. And the minor leagues, man, the minor leagues will give you memories. And especially when I played in the minor leagues, when it was still like the wild, wild west. I think there's way more control and structure. Not when I was playing, man. It was insane, some of the stuff that we had to go through. Golly. Okay, I'll give you two. My first year in pro ball was Elizabethton, Tennessee Appalachian League Advanced Rookie Ball. I'm freshly 18 years old, never been away from my family. All of a sudden, I'm gone playing ball. I think I was. I know I was the youngest guy on the team. First time playing with Latin players, which was awesome, man. And I was like, damn, these guys are so freaking good. I seriously remember the first time that I saw a Dominican slider, and I was like, never seen a pitch like that before. So, those are some, I just remember that a lot. But favorite memory from that year, at the stadium in Tennessee, there was like this little creek that ran behind it. And we would like literally go after BP, like your home team. So you hit BP first. You have an hour or so to kind of kill. We'd go fishing, man. We'd go fishing for trout. I remember throwing this little gold, not a spin, like a little loop, like a spoon, excuse me, little gold spoon out there, and fishing this creek, no shoes on, catching little trout, and then going and playing a ball game later. I was like, this is kind of my dream. Like, this is my dream. I love fishing, love ball. I'm like, I have freedom for the first time in my life. I just signed for $1.5 million at 18 years old. I was the king of the world. It was great. So I remember feeling very, very happy at that moment. So that's one. The other one was AAA, little salty vet type stuff here, but it was me. It was Tim Leahy. It was Glenn Perkins. We would have midnight barbecues. We'd come home from after the game and we'd set up the barbecue outside of our apartment, and just Glenn would get on there and grill us like chicken thighs. And we would just like sit outside and like literally have a barbecue, but it'd be pitch black outside. And we would just sit around just like being salty, probably talking some shit, but also just kind of enjoying where we were at. We were all kind of like trying to figure out our lives. When you're at AAA, there's always that, jealousy of the guys in the big leagues, and then, the want and the will to get back up there. So a lot of fun nights doing that with those two. Those are probably two of my favorite memories.
Yo, Trev, this is Sage, diehard Dodgers fan. I live in Seattle. Question is, what's one rule that you think would benefit baseball by adding to it? And then what's one rule that you think would benefit baseball by taking away? Other than that, stop letting the haters hate. That mustache makes you look handsome, bro. Peace.
Hell yeah, man. You and my wife think it looks handsome. It's all that matters. I'll go with, we talked about this recently on the show. I'm out on going like this for an intentional walk. I want to bring back pitchers having to throw. And I know makes the games a little bit longer, but I think we need the shame back in the intentional walk. It's bad for the sport as it is, because we're taking away Shohei Ohtani hitting. Like, the most fun thing you can do as a baseball fan is probably watch Shohei Ohtani hit, or one of the most fun things you could do. And we're taking that away. And all we're doing is this. So I want to bring back the shame in intentional walking. Probably I would like to limit the amount of intentional walks too. That's something I'd really be interested in. So I don't know what category that goes into, like add or take away. I guess that's a little bit of both. So maybe I just answered the question right in one thing. Intentional walks, bring back the throw, and limit the amount of times that you can do it. It's like a challenge. Like, we limit the amount of challenges. I think we should limit the amount of intentional walks per game.
Big man, I want to know what your most memorable disastrous plate appearance was and why you still remember it.
Easy one for me. I think it was 2011. Still like slapdick, trying to figure out a way to stay on the roster or just be in the big leagues. And we're playing in Detroit. And at that time, go look at the pitching staff of the Detroit Tigers. They're menaces. They're menaces. It's ridiculous that I had to face those guys. It's not fair to young Trev. Anyways, we always were looking for tips on pitchers. And, back in the day, it wasn't computers doing it. It was like your eyeballs, and you had to be on the top step. And I need help. And Michael Kadire comes back and he goes, "Hey, got something on this guy." And he gives me, like, if he does this, it's a fastball. If he does this, it's the breaking pitch. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Like, I'm about to go do this. So I end up coming up. I don't know exactly what the situation was, but it was later in the game. It was probably like the 6th or 7th inning. We had runners in scoring position. It was like a time where I could come up big for the team and like, yeah, okay, hey, this guy can play here. This is what we need. And I'm going up there saying, I got this guy's pitches. Like, this is it for me. So I'm on deck and I'm looking. I'm like, all right, like I kind of see it. I see it a little bit. All right. Am I convincing myself that I see what Michael Kadire was talking about? And I go up there and I'm like, okay, here comes a fastball. Get up there, ready to see a fastball, slider. I have no chance at it. Swing and miss over the top of it. So I'm like, all right, maybe I messed up there. Maybe I got to lock it in a little bit more. So let's go back to this. So then next pitch, I'm like, all right, here comes a slider. Got this one. I ain't swinging at this thing. No way. You're not going to get me to do that again. Fastball right down the middle of the plate. Take it for strike 2. At this point, I take a step out and I'm like, what's going on here, dude? Like, what do I do? Like, I'm kind of seeing this, but not really seeing it. Now I'm in the hole. And I don't know, like, whether to trust this or not. Get back up there. This time I'm like, okay, I definitely know a slider's coming. So I'm like in protect mode here. If I see it down, let it go. Got to get this pitch up. fastball, bottom of the zone. I take it. I strike out looking all-time horrible at bat. It must have looked so bad, and it did, because Dick Bremer and Bert Blyleven, I believe, just like blew me up for how bad of an at bat it was on the broadcast. Little did they know, I thought I had the pitches. They were the exact opposite of what the pitches actually were, and it just was like a horrible at bat. I have no problem with people like saying, "Wow, this guy needs to be sent down." And in fact, I believe like 2 days later, I did get sent down. So, disaster of an at bat, and that's when I learned like you have to be certain when you go up there with a towel. And if you can't see it when you're up at the plate, just ditch it. Don't even look for it. And sometimes to get it out of my mind, I would like close my eyes during like the pre-pitch and then open them back up. Like when I knew he was going to start pitching. That's what you have to do. It's crazy, man.
What's up, Coach Trev? Long time listener. Love you, buddy. Just wondering, are you ever going to do sequence again? Sequence was one of my favorite things a couple years ago. That's pretty much it. Love warehouse stuff. Love talking baseball. Also, get some thoughts on the O's upcoming season. Love you, Jake Slopes.
Okay, I get asked this a ton, and it's kind of cool. Like sequence was a lot of fun to do, a lot of work. I think we could probably streamline it a little bit better. Got a lot more employees at the company that could help out with it. I am interested in bringing it back, and I think we have like we can actually use highlights and not worry about it. That was like the biggest thing back in the day. Was like, hey, like I'm kind of like going through all these baseball broadcasts and like, for lack of a better term, like I don't know, we didn't have the rights to it essentially. So we thought about that quite a bit. And then, we started doing like baseball today and talking baseball, we're just doing a lot more. So I kind of like put it on the back burner, but I'm open to it. It's got to be a big discussion because it is a lot of work, and especially like getting players. Like at the end, that was the hardest thing, was like locking down players to come talk about their bats. I think that was the best part of the show. Like me just like talking over a highlight and explaining it, like, all right, like I could see some value there, but going into a hitter's mind and having him go over an at bat pitch by pitch and really what he's thinking. And I thought that was the best part of the show. And we get some awesome clips, like the Yelly and Barry Bonds, him talking about hitting was so cool. So I need some help doing that, like getting the guys and having them give their time is a lot to ask. But I'm open to it. So I'm sure I'm going to get a Slack notification after this episode comes out. Like, hey, let's get this going again. It's got to be a slow process, but I'm very, very interested in bringing it back because it was a fun show to do, and I just like talking hitting with guys, and we got pitchers on every once in a while, but I liked just the back and forth. That makes me feel like I'm still part of the game when I'm talking hitting with the guys like that.
Hey, Coach Trev. I got a question for you. If you could do a reverse Field of Dreams, wherein you have your normal life that you have now, but then when you step onto this baseball field, you go back in time to like real MLB games. What team in what decade would you want to be your Field of Dreams, where like you go and play baseball back in time rather than the other way around? Thanks. Stay tight.
All right. What do you say? Hang tight?
Hang tight? Let's see.
Thanks. Stay tight.
Stay tight.
Stay tight. I'm trying, bro. I've been working out a lot. It's Olivia always tells me, I'm like, man, just trying to get this muscle going. She's like, you always look muscular. I'm like, damn, Liv. I list my day up. I don't always look muscular. Okay, interesting question. I don't know if I truly understand it, but I'm going to give it a go. This is going to sound crazy. I would go back to the 1940s. I would be on the Boston Red Sox, and it'd be me and Ted Williams. And we'd be bros. I am such a fan of Ted Williams for multiple reasons, but Number one, name my son after him, so you know I'm a fan. Him and Theodore Roosevelt. So those two guys. But I have his book, The Science of Hitting. And think about Ted Williams, a guy who played in a bunch of decades, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. How cool is that? So 4 decades of ball. Imagine him in those eras writing a book called The Science of Hitting, where he talks about the angle of the ball coming to you at home and like just the mechanics that he talks about. Like that was so far ahead of his time with that. And if you haven't read that book, like please just go check it out. It's like so in detail and so awesome. One of the all-time hitters in our game, like just pours his mind out into this book. So I would go back. It'd be me and Ted Williams. We'd be talking hitting, left-handed, right-handed. He'd make me a better hitter. I don't know what I would help him out with. I'd just be his friend. We just have fun together. And then World War II happens, and it'd be me and him, fighter pilots. Bam, we'd crush it. And then we come back the next year, and he'd be MVP 1 in 1946, and I'd be MVP 2. I don't know. That's like fan fiction for me. Me and Ted Williams talking ball, playing together in Boston. I love Fenway. Going off, shooting Nazis in World War II. And coming back to Major League Baseball, I think that's pretty cool. Forget me in this equation. Just think about how cool Ted Williams is. Think about how freaking cool Ted Williams is. Is he the greatest American ever? Like maybe. He's up there, right? So I don't know, man. I just want to play with Ted Williams.
I mean, his head is frozen, so it's possible still.
Yeah, that story's crazy, and I kind of dodge around that because I don't know what that actually means. Like his brain is intact, and I had somebody yesterday tell me that some doctor at Harvard just developed this pill that sets like your organs back 15 years. So what does that even mean? I want that. 15 years for me, I'd be 24.
That'd be nice. His head and body was taken to Alcor Life Extension Foundation in Arizona, and his head,
his body too.
His head was surgically separated from his body.
Why?
Both were preserved separately in a state of cryogenic suspension.
Why did they separate him?
I don't know.
They put his head on a new body. That'd be sick,
right? Like a young man.
That's like some Black Mirror stuff. Like the young man comes in, gives up his body, Ted Williams' head on the young man, and then the young man's head goes on Ted Williams' old body.
I'd give up my body for Ted Williams' head.
That's okay. That went to I'm kind of creeped out right now. But Ted Williams, like name your greatest Americans. I don't know. He's like up there. There's a lot of them out there. I'm not one of them. It's time for Free Agent Forecast, brought to you by DraftKings. Use code JMBaseball when you sign up with the DraftKings Sportsbook. We've already had Josh Naylor go back to the Seattle Mariners. Who's going next? I think I got the answer right here. The Giants are getting the band back together. Vitello just brought in Hunter Mentz to be his hitting coach. Coached him at University of Missouri. You know who else he has ties to there? And it makes a ton of sense. And shout out Chris Rose for thinking about this. It's Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer to the Giants, another veteran in that rotation. He showed he still had it at the end of the year. Reunites with Vitello, who he loves, one of his good personal friends. I think it's a no-brainer on a one-year deal. Max Scherzer to the Giants. You heard it here first. This episode is sponsored by our partners over at DraftKings. We're only a few weeks in, and the NBA season is already absolutely wild. The stars are going off, rookies are making noise, and the action doesn't stop. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is where you can get in on all of it. New customers bet just $5 and get $200 if your bet wins, paid out in bonus bets. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code JMBaseball. That's JMBaseball to get $200 in bonus bets instantly if your first $5 bet hits. Plus, not only do you get the $200 in bonus bets instantly, you get 3 months of the NBA League Pass no matter what. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. I think that's going to do it for today, guys. I really appreciate it. That was fun. That was some good questions. Hopefully you guys were entertained. Off-season trips coming up. I'm going to Japan. That'll be a lot of fun. hopefully bring back some baseball stories from there. Be able to talk to you guys, but I appreciate everything. Love you, and Jake sucks. Jake fucking sucks. That's what we heard on this channel. I miss you, Jakey boy. We got a text from him. Texted me, Jolly, and Chris Rose about the free agent draft, and we're the best in the business. That's what he said. I was like, how many glasses of wine deep are you in Italy right now, buddy? A lot.